Hello everybody, welcome back to Valecast. I am Sybil. Today I'm joined by Callum as usual. How you doing, Callum?
I'm very well, Simo. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. We have two guests with us today. We have Alex and Sam from the Send Them Off podcast. How are we doing, boys?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for having us on.
Happy to be on, yeah.
No problem. Welcome to the mighty Valecast of the Deveronvale Football Club of the 5th tier of Scottish football.
Yeah,
It doesn't get any bigger than this, boys. It does not get any bigger than this. Welcome, thank you for coming along. We're going to do a wee show about the Euros tonight. Both Sam and Alex are Welsh. They are very much still enjoying the Euros. Me and Callum are a wee bit... We're a wee bit down today, but we'll try keep the mood as high as we can. Maybe feed off the Welsh boys. But before we get into all of that, this podcast is brought to you by our friends at Motive, as it is every week. In terms of Deveronvale news, we are playing our first friendly tonight. Who we got tonight, Callum?
Whitehills.
Yeah,
so that's the first one.
Yeah, we kick off in like 5 minutes. We'll let you know the result of that next week, and I think we've got a couple of friendlies in between our next Valecast as well. So we'll let you know all the results and who's scoring, who's not scoring, and we're going to win all of them. Clearly, we'll just be updating you on the results.
Goes without saying, eh?
Goes without saying, you know. Shouldn't even need to mention it. Our Highland League season starts pretty much exactly a month from the release of this, of this, not
24th of July. Yeah, first game at Princess Royal Park. We've got Baroda Rangers first up, so we'll keep you posted as well in terms of whether you guys are able to come and watch that down at Princess Royal, or whether it's going to be behind closed doors. Who knows where we'll be by then? But yeah, we'll just keep you all up to date on all the socials and the club website and everything, and just keep your eyes peeled for more news.
Yeah, Baroda Rangers, big game to kick off with. I know the manager's already spoke about how much he's looking forward to. We got we'll speak more about this as in the weeks leading up. But we have some big games to start the Highland League season.
Yes.
But we should go to last night, shouldn't we? We should talk about it a little bit. Before I give my thoughts, I'll go at you first, Callum. What were your thoughts in the game last night?
Gutted. Just the raw emotion of it all maybe got the better of me last night, I must admit. So yeah, it was a typical kind of Scotland result in the end, I suppose. But good performance from the boys. Like a few of them, certainly did themselves justice over the tournament, and last night still played well. Croatia without Modric might have been a different looking outfit, in all honesty, but. It is what it is, I suppose, and it just shows. We spoke about it last time. Just how important that first game was against the Czechs. We needed to get the 3 points there to stand any chance, and unfortunately, it meant that the Wembley performance was just all for nothing in the end, I suppose. So, but I mean, the lads can look back with fond memories, and it's good to end all those years of watching major tournaments with no real interest. So good to get that back again, but. Yeah, it was a wave of emotion, and I even ended up in the bad books with the wife when I woke the kids up shouting, "Come on!" when Scotland got that equaliser. So yeah, she's probably glad it's all over as well.
Aye, Alex, did you manage to catch any of the Scotland game?
The truth is, I don't even know whether it was on TV. Was it on TV, Sam?
It was, yeah.
Was it on TV?
It was.
You know what? What channel was it on?
STV.
ITV4 as well. I think you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I wanted to watch it because I thought I feel like I got more of an interest in the Scotland game than I did in the England game, because I feel like England, I kind of sort of a feeling they cruised through it. It was quite a boring game. But no, I didn't manage to catch the Scotland game, but I would like to have seen it. I was quite disappointed when I saw the result as well, truth be told, because I did want to see you lot get, at least to the last 16, the knockout stages, because you've got a tidy team. We spoke to Carl when he came down, and I was, and we were listing off some of the players. I think it was a bit unfortunate about what happened to Billy Gilmore. I thought that was a bit unfortunate, and I'm not sure whether I agree with the whole. The conduction of it, but I didn't manage to catch it, but I would like to have seen it, and I was very sad. I would like to put that out there and say I was very sad.
We appreciate your commiserations. I'll talk a wee bit about about the match. I mean, it was large. It just feels like there's been a couple of things that went wrong for us, key things that went wrong for us in this tournament so far. Now that I've had like a 24-hour period to look back, and I think the Czech games. I said from the start of this before we went, that was our most important game because that was our most winnable game. But we were missing Kieran Tierney for it, and we didn't start with Dykes and Adams as we did in both the England game and the game against Croatia. So we really didn't. Even though we created loads of chances, in fact, we created so many chances across this entire tournament. I can't believe we're leaving it with just one goal from outside the box, where the majority of our chances were created inside the box. Hugely disappointing to exit. But if I'm going to think about the match specifically and what went right, what went wrong, I think you can't account for like a world-class player going to put in a world-class performance. That's going to happen, and some of that's out of your hands. Look at Modric, was absolutely everywhere. He was everywhere. I thought there was two of them on the pitch at one point. I wasn't convinced that it was just one man. But yeah, he was superb, and Perisic was really hard to deal with as well. Kovacic also put in a really, really good performance. One disappointing thing was that Stephen O'Donnell seemed to be in a lot of battles with Perisic, and I really wanted to kind of get out the way, and that's what we did against England. We very much put Stephen O'Donnell out the way and let Scott McTominay deal with Raheem Sterling. We actually put Stephen O'Donnell onto Luke Shaw, who was playing left back, and I think that's what we should have done against Croatia. The first goal we're conceding is because Stephen O'Donnell and Perisic are in a battle, and Perisic gets up for the header and puts it across goal. And I thought that battle was lost so many times across the pitch, but you can't put that down to Stephen O'Donnell. He plays for Motherwell.
I think the entire back five, and it was a back five last night. It wasn't that kind of 3-5-2 that we seen. It was a 5-3-2 this time. But they were sitting so deep. I know we kind of made a bit of a fast start to the game, and we were up the other end of the pitch with a corner in the first 10 seconds or something. But
great opening 10 minutes.
Great start, great 15 minutes to be honest with you. The goal kind of knocked us a wee bit, but I just felt that through the entire game they just seemed to be playing a lot further back than they certainly did against the English, and just didn't have that same, whether it was third game fatigue or whatever, because obviously Clark didn't make that many changes between the three games, so so whether that came into play or not, but they just seemed tired. Get my teeth in. They just seemed tired last night, and just didn't have that urgency to get up the pitch. But they had chances. They had loads of chances. I mean, McGinn, went with the wrong foot or the wrong leg, if you prefer. So there were opportunities there, but ultimately, if your strikers aren't going to get the ball in the back of the net, and as you say, 3 games, 1 goal, you don't get through on that, do you? I mean, well, we could have in theory, but probably wouldn't have deserved to even if we had. So it's disappointing, but as I say, it is what it is. So.
They've been very much sneaking in through the back door with a third.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would have seen it, but I would have definitely taken
but you would take it. You would take it. I just thought there was the battles, the matchups weren't right. I don't think it was right to match up O'Donnell with Perisic. Given that Perisic, he's a title winner this season, Serie A, plays at a very high level for Inter Milan. He has a very high pedigree in football. Clearly, it would have made sense for me to match McTominay with him and just push Stephen O'Donnell out the way, which is what we did in the England game. But there was the midfield as well. Stu Armstrong comes in for Billy Gilmour, doesn't really turn up, gets substituted. And for me, the performance he put in was maybe a 4 out of 10 on the generous side, and a lot of people were saying, I was actually one of the advocates for Stu Armstrong. I put it on Twitter that I wanted Stu Armstrong just to come in a 1-for-1 for Billy Gilmour for us to set up with the same 11. But a lot of people wanted David Turnbull, and I think if I could turn back time, I'd maybe, maybe advocate for David Turnbull as well. But but that it is what it is, But it's strange having stakes in an international tournament, but it's not just like whatever team you're drawn in the office. You know what I mean?
To be fair, we're pretty new to it as well. So we've only had 2.
The Scotland squad that I saw, I don't think this will be the last time. I
hope not.
The Scotland team qualify in.
It's quite a young squad.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. It is quite a young squad because there's a lot of young talent in there. So
apart from maybe that kind of spine of the team, I suppose, with your goalkeeper and centre halves to a certain extent. There's obviously folk like Andy Robertson on the left back role, but there's not a lot of international experience there either. So it is, as you say, it's a young squad across the board, but also quite a young squad in terms of international experience too. So hopefully as they develop and form that bond that they'll have got from the tournament and everything like that, then hopefully it's not the last that you see of us at these kind of things in years to come. But hey, at least we've still got one team to really kind of get behind now with Wales getting through. So you guys must be absolutely buzzing with that. So what's your kind of immediate thoughts on the group stage?
Well, we weren't particularly blown away, were we, Al, when we watched the Switzerland game, the first game, and then the Turkey game. I will admit, I'll hold my hands up. I actually missed it. For reasons I'm not at liberty to disclose. So I missed it. But I caught the extended highlights, and I actually watched the Italy game 2 hours late. But I recorded it and I turned off my phone, so I watched it as if it was live, and we lost. So it teaches me. But I thought we played really well against Italy. I was really impressed as a unit, particularly defending with 10 men for so long. We looked really good. Italy have been so good so far. I'd love to see them go all the way, to be honest, but we'll see. I said to you before I came on, I'm a little bit nervous about Denmark. Ever so slightly.
Yes. Well, we said that before, didn't we, Sam? That obviously with everything that's going on for the Danish team in this tournament, they're probably everybody else's second team that's still left in. So as you say, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, I suppose, with this one. And it'll be a tough game. There's no denying that.
Yeah, definitely.
The Danish have obviously got a lot of talent in that squad. From goalkeeper to front. So yeah, very tough game. But hey, Wales, you can certainly match up with them. You've got a few superstars in there as well.
A pretty fair game, if I'm being honest with you. After seeing, I think everybody sort of had the sneaky bet on Turkey, saying all the dark horses, that and the other. There wasn't a lot in Turkey from what we saw. We watched the Switzerland game. I think Denmark have probably got a bit more in them than Switzerland, so I think they will give us, a bit more of a game. But if I was to compare, those would be the two teams I compare. It would be sort of Switzerland and Denmark, that kind of caliber. But we'll see. I would like to see us beat them, but then you've got, the Christian Eriksen sort of thing galvanising them, pushing them through. So you just don't know. It's like you say, you don't know.
Yeah. They are coming off a bit of a blinder against Russia. A poor Russian side, to be fair. Maybe not the same one it was at that World Cup. They did quite well. But, do you know what's really impressed me about Wales? Like, they've got that front four that's it's Manchester United, Juventus, Real Madrid, and then Cardiff up front. Kiefer Moore.
You don't know how much it pains two Swansea fans to love Kiefer Moore. I love him. I just can't help but not like him.
He's so good.
Just like
he's
him.
so good.
Yeah,
he does the basics so well.
Goals, I think.
Yeah.
The thing I find about Kiefer Moore, he's such a big lad, but like he's quick, he's rapid, and his hold-up play is just it's unbelievable.
We miss Kiefer Moore when he's not playing.
100%.
I feel like we miss him when he's not playing.
You notice the difference in the last game there when he came off the bench, in the Italy game. You could definitely see that was kind of how Wales prefer to line up. I think and hopefully that cements him. Yeah, definitely.
He's a focal point because he'll hold the ball up and then you'll see Dan James going down the wing. And it's usually that ball he'll pick out. It'll be he'll lay it off to somebody and then Dan James, he's got his head down, he's running, no one's catching Dan James. So that's how we sort of find our way into the box, is sort of that ball into Kiefer Moore. He'll spread it out and then Kiefer Moore will sort of push his way back up into the box then and gamble for a header or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But we do miss him when he's subbed.
So do you see him as kind of the key player then, rather than Bale or Ramsey or whatever that needs to perform? Do you see Moore being the one, if he has a good game, that you guys can go quite far?
I've not thought about it. Sam, what do you think?
I think our best player over the last 4 years has definitely been Dan James for me. I think he's been incredible. And he gets so much stick from United fans, so much stick. But
I couldn't tell you why.
No, well, to be fair, he hasn't exactly shone in the United shirt, really. But every time he puts a Wales shirt
I
on,
wouldn't say United have been. They've not been very. I don't want to come on an international podcast and talk about Man United, but I don't think Manchester United have been particularly good over the course of however long Dan James has been there. I don't think they've given him enough chance to shine. We got Rashford, blah blah blah. So I think coming into this Wales squad, you can really see his quality.
Definitely, I think Joe Rodon's really important for us as well. He's really come into his own.
He's having a good
in this
tournament.
I think
He's having a good tournament.
15. I mean, as Swansea fans, we knew £15 million was a steal for Tottenham last summer. Anyway, we were all saying it, but this summer, I think everyone will be saying it. How on earth does he only cost 15 million?
Yeah, and is he the man that replaces that kind of Ashley Williams shaped hole that you've got in the defence there? Yeah,
100%. To be fair, we thought he was going to be that for Swansea, but he was snapped up pretty well earlier than we expected, really. But
and nobody had any complaints, so he can play at the top level, and you won't argue with that. But I think Danny Ward as well has surprised me.
Danny Ward.
I was just going to go on. I was going to mention Danny Ward because obviously he's somebody that up in our neck of the woods. Somebody that's well known, having his loan spell at Aberdeen. It was 3-4 years ago now. So I must admit, I was surprised that he started the first game. Well, he's the number one for this tournament now. But I was surprised he got that nod because whenever I've kind of been watching some of the international friendlies or some of the previous kind of tournaments and things, he's been there or thereabouts, but never really kind of cemented that place. But I mean, he's somebody that could be, Wales number one for still some time. Yeah, he's not, he's not a young lad, but he's not, in his mid-30s or whatever either. So he's been around for a while.
He's only 26, I think, Danny Ward. But what's interesting about Danny Ward, I don't recall him really being a first-choice keeper since maybe his loan spell at Huddersfield. Yeah. And obviously, he was that sort of third choice at Liverpool. Now he's at Leicester City. Obviously, you're not getting in front of Kasper Schmeichel. He's integral to that Leicester side. He's the captain. He's the highest paid player. He's going to start. So I think if he's going to be a first choice anyway, he probably needs to move on for Leicester City.
Come to Swansea.
Yeah. Maybe, but I think he's been for a keeper that's not held a first choice position for maybe 2 or 3 years now. I think it's highly impressive that he's stepping up in this international stage, and I think you'll see a lot of it as. He'll see a lot of it as a chance to really put himself out there in the market for a team to maybe snatch him up.
He's probably played more. He's probably played more for Wales in this tournament than he's played for Leicester in the last 2 years. So he's coming in, not having had much match fitness, match practice, and obviously kind of grasp that number one jersey effectively with both hands. So I'm sure he's going to be really important, for Wales's chances as you progress through this tournament. I mean, who do you see? Who apart from the ones we've maybe mentioned, who else has kind of been a standout performer for Wales so far?
Are you going to say it or am I, Al? Crying on Cafu.
Conor Roberts. It's got to be.
Conor Roberts. Oh, what a guy! What a guy! I die for that man.
Do you know what? Conor Roberts, he's so ordinary. He went to we didn't go to the same school. He went to my school, and he's so ordinary, in person. You'll see him do Instagram lives and this, that, and the other. He's so down to earth with things. But then it's seeing him score on the big stage and seeing his quality week in, week out for Swansea, and then he can display it, for Wales, for his country. You can see how much it means to him as well. So, he really wants to be there. He loves playing for his country. But his quality he's
I'm just hoping though. I'm just hoping that if it doesn't hamper the team, he has a couple of mediocre performances now, because otherwise we're going to lose him at Swansea. And I can't cope with that. We had Joe Rodon last year. I can't cope with Conor going.
Who is the Luton Town central midfielder? Is it Joe Morrow?
Yeah, no.
I just find that amazing. There's a a Luton Town player that
he doesn't play for Luton either. He doesn't start for Luton.
Does he not? He's
not on the regular. No, but
it's not level of football. I watch a whole lot, but I've just found that.
See across the tournament though, there's some teams that have got just random players. I think is it the Denmark squad's got a couple of guys from Brentford or something like that.
There's 4 Brentford boys on that team.
just bizarre, really, when you think about it. I know obviously they've coming up, but it's just a strange one, really, thinking about it, where these guys have maybe been playing for the last couple of years and suddenly kind of thrust under that international spotlight. So, but well, no, I mean, you've got a nation behind you now, I would think, in terms of Scotland supporting Wales as they go through. So hopefully we can see Wales progress, just as well as you did in the last tournament. That's for sure. The last Euros anyway, and we can get. I know myself and Sam spoke, a few weeks ago or last week, whenever it was, and we'd said Scotland Wales would have been the ideal final, but I'm glad we've maybe, we're not going to have to butt heads on that one at all. So, I mean, has there been any other players away from the Wales team that you've been keeping an eye on so far that you think is going to be, one of the players of the tournament? Maybe somebody that we didn't expect.
Do you want to take it as well now?
Because we've seen, I was going to say Immobile in the Italian squad, or is it Spinazzola?
Spinazzola.
Oh yeah.
I can't pronounce his name, but when I've seen him play, and I've seen more of the Italy games and any others because they're in our group, but I saw him play and I was very impressed with him, and I haven't got a clue where he's playing now, but it's just a case of the rest of them, they're putting themselves in the shop window, and I'd like to see him play at a higher level. Does anyone know what he's playing? I've been interested.
Is that like Roma? Maybe Roma?
I was going to say maybe Lazio or something like that. So
one of them, yeah. I've been really impressed with. Oh, go on, sorry, Al.
No, I was only going to say, it'd be nice to see him play under Mourinho and whatever. But carry on. It's nothing very interesting, Sam. It never is with me.
Oh, I was going to say, and I know we shouldn't be, promoting England, but Calvin Phillips has really impressed me. Really, really impressed me. I don't know whether, sort of going back to what you were saying earlier as well, along a similar sort of point, I don't know whether it's because we're in the Championship now as Swansea fans, but I'm noticing more like EFL influence on this tournament than I've ever seen on an international tournament before. And that's not just sort of like in our team particularly, the majority of our players are probably EFL players. And then, but like England, it's like a ridiculous amount of them started off in the EFL. And I don't know, I just think it's really nice to see, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen most of the games, actually. I've been surprised how much I've been able to get away with watching, to be honest. But I can't have you on, Alex, and not mention the great man, Mr. Pandev. So for anybody that didn't watch the Euros build-up show, Alex is gone. So he's. I'll still mention it anyway. Even though he's bailed out on us, I'm still going to mention it. So Sam, maybe you can kind of clarify what's happened since. But when I came onto your show, whenever it was, about a month or so ago, building up to the Euros, we'd kind of had a bit of a mention of North Macedonia and how they were going to be kind of everybody's unofficial second team, I suppose. And Alex made quite a bold statement, saying if he would go ballistic if they scored one goal in the entire tournament. And obviously they've gone on and done a wee bit better than that. So I don't know if the antis have been up to it all on this one, but he put it out there on the podcast that one goal from North Macedonia and he'd be running around his street in his pants. So Sam, over to you. Any comment to make? I know
it hasn't quite happened yet, but we're looking to make it happen. We've been watching too much football for it to happen so far, but I believe me, I will be holding him to it. I will not let him get away with this one. I've told him to get the budgie smugglers in the wash ready, and it'll happen. You will see it.
I'll keep us posted on that. We'll get that shared around on the official Deveronvale Football Club social media channels so that everybody can
I'm sure he'd be absolutely delighted with that.
Can see that monumental event happening. So I don't know if he's left just because I was mentioning it or if he's having connection difficulties or anything this evening. But yeah, we'll see what happens on that one. But no, Sam, thanks very much to both of you for coming on tonight to kind of give us a wee bit more of an insight into the Wales camp. I've got my Wales flag up somewhere around over there, so it'll stay up along with the rest of them. So I'll be keeping my eyes peeled to see how you get on in the next round. Oh, he's back. That's right.
He's back.
So
sorry, gentlemen. I have no idea what happened. It just threw me off.
we thought.
I'll tell you why. You just started talking about pandemic. That's right. I'm assuming you discussed why.
We've had a
we
wee
did.
chat about it, and I'm disappointed to hear it's not happened yet. But we'll be, we'll wait with bated breath for that one.
So.
Okay.
Well, the problem
Well, it
is
always
I can't
rains
do
in
it in
Wales,
my
doesn't it?
street.
So.
Yeah, it does. But I can't do it in my street because we've got children, so I'm going to have to find a few somewhere.
You need to go.
I wonder if
another
we
street.
can. I don't know if we can maybe tag Swansea City in this one tonight. Maybe see if we can get you over to the stadium there, and you can stand in the centre circle in your pants.
Yeah, yeah. Or either in his pants, right? Or
I
full
put
kit,
some
including
band
chin
after that.
pads. Either one.
Deary me.
There you go.
But Simo, anything more from your side?
Not
No.
at all. I think.
Try and
sorry,
bring us
I'm talking
back
about
on
me,
track of it.
I can't hear it. I think we're talking to me.
No, I just want to
I can
say.
say.
I just want to say. He was feeding back quite a lot. Sorry about that. I just wanted to say a big thank you to yourself, Sam and Alex, for coming on and joining us today and giving us your insight into the Welsh national team. It's been much appreciated. I just want to say a big thanks to our listeners as well for tuning in yet again. Make sure you like and subscribe. We are back for you every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. We'll be back again with the scores of our friendlies this week, and we shall see you on the next one. Cheery bye.